Okay. Good evening. Welcome to the City of Groton Mayor and Council meeting for Monday, October 6, 2025. City Clerk, please call the roll.
Mayor Hedrick, Deputy Mayor Depot, Councilor Patterson, Councilor Piazza, Councilor Sheffield, Councilor Norris, and Councilor Artali are present.
Okay, thank you. Please stand and salute the flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, recognitions, awards, and memorials. I have two proclamations. The first one is Public Power Week. It's a week-long celebration of Groton Utilities' year-round service to Groton and surrounding communities. Whereas we, the citizens of the City of Groton, place high value on local control over community service and therefore have chosen to operate community-owned, locally controlled, not-for-profit electric, water, and sewer, and as consumers and owners of our electric, water, and sewer utilities, have a direct say through the Groton Utilities Commission on utilities operations and policies. And whereas Groton Utilities is a community asset that contributes to the well-being of the citizens and the employees, our neighbors serving neighbors, providing homes, businesses, and local government agencies with not-for-profit electric services that are safe, reliable, and cost-effective. And whereas Groton Utilities is a dependable and trustworthy institution whose local operation provides many consumer protections and continues to make our community and the City of Groton a better place in which to live and work, as well as contributions to protecting the environment. And whereas the City of Groton Mayor, Council, and Commission and residents recognize people behind Groton Utilities and Public Power who remain committed to keeping our community energized. And whereas Groton Utilities will continue to work to bring low-cost, safe, reliable, and sustainable electricity to community homes and businesses, therefore, I, Keith Hedrick, Mayor of the City of Groton, do hereby designate the week October 5th through 11th, 2025 as Public Power Week and encourage everyone in our community to join hands in approximately 2,000 other public power systems in the United States, all working to build strong communities in this celebration of public power. In witness thereof, I am sworn herein to set my hand and affix the official seal of the City of Groton this 5th day of October 2025. Signed, Keith Hedrick, Mayor, City of Groton. And then the second one is Fire Prevention Week. So it's a proclamation for Fire Prevention Week. Whereas the City of Groton is committed to ensuring the safety and security of all those living and visiting the city, fire safety remains a serious public safety concerns both locally and nationally, and the presence of lithium-ion batteries in many household devices introduces unique fire risk. And whereas most of the electronics used in homes daily, including smartphones, tablets, laptops, power tools, e-bikes, e-scooters, and toys, are powered by lithium-ion batteries, which, if misused, damaged, or improperly charged, can overheat, start a fire, or explode. And whereas the National Fire Protection Association, NFPA, reports an increase in battery-related fires, underscoring the need for public education on the safe use of lithium-ion batteries, and whereas residents should follow 3 key calls to action: buy only listed products, charge batteries safely, and recycle them responsibly to prevent battery-related fires. And whereas lithium-ion batteries store a large amount of energy in a small space, and improper use such as overcharging, using off-brand chargers without safety certification, or exposing batteries to damage can result in fires or explosion. And whereas the proper disposal and recycling of lithium-ion batteries help prevent environmental hazards and reduce fire risk in the home and community. And whereas City of Groton first responders are dedicated to reducing the occurrence of fires through prevention, safety education, and community outreach. Whereas the 2025 Fire Prevention Week theme, Charge Into Fire Safety, lithium-ion batteries in your home, serves to remind us of the importance of using, charging, and recycling lithium-ion batteries safely to reduce the risk of fires in homes and communities. Now for I, Keith Hedrick, Mayor of the City of Groton, do hereby proclaim October 5th through 11th, 2025 as Fire Prevention Week throughout the city of Groton. In witness whereof I have hereunto set my hand and affixed the official seal of the city of Groton this 5th day of October 2025. Signed, Keith Hedrick, Mayor, City of Groton. Okay. Are there any other recognitions, awards, and memorials? Deputy Mayor Depot.
I just want to thank the Elks. Since our last meeting, the Elks took down the flags that they had put out for 9/11. And I just want to thank them again for doing that. I heard good feedback on, from residents thanking, them for doing that. And I was able to pass that along. I went to help them take them all down and got to thank them. But it takes a bit of a crew to get that done. And I just want to thank them for doing that because it is a great way to honor the people who died on that day, and it's a good way to visualize it. So just thanks again to the Elks Club for doing that.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, we will move on to receipt of citizens' petitions, comments. Receipt of citizens' petitions is the portion of the council meeting where the council welcomes comments from citizens. To address the council, please sign the sheet on the table at the front of the meeting room. When you are recognized, please approach the podium. Clearly state your name and address. Each presentation should be limited to 5 minutes or less, and citizens should, if possible, submit emailed or written comments. Presentations should be related to matters pertinent to the city of Groton. City councilors will only ask questions in order to clarify the speaker's presentation and can respond during the responses to citizens' petitions portion of the meeting. City Clerk, do we have anyone signed up?
We do. Mr. Boucher?
Mike Boucher, 16 Hillside Avenue, Groton. I'm here tonight to talk about the City of Groton seawall cost overruns. Lots of confusions and questions about the seawall cost overruns by both town and City of Groton residents and taxpayers and the state legislators. The most asked question is, what does the 10.7 or 10.8 million number stand for that's given out by City Hall as the amount authorized for seawall construction? First, this figure doesn't represent the full cost of the seawall replacement program. That amount is closer to 15 million. The 10.8 million is the publicly known cost to date that has been paid to the construction company Arborio for their work on the seawall. That's been done on 3 separate dates. April 2024, a little over 4.1 million, 2.7 million of that coming from state funds and about 1.4 million coming from the town of Groton ARPA funds to Arborio. Then April of this year, 2.8 million from Groton City Capital Funds to Arborio to cover the cost overruns. And July also of this year, an additional 3.4 million from Groton City Capital Funds to Arborio to cover, again, cost overruns. I think I may have a mistake there, but we'll continue. Arborio costs cover only the construction of the seawall project. In addition, there would be other significant costs related to the seawall, such as GZA, the engineering firm overseeing the seawall project, BL Companies, the firm which wrote up the original design, an RFP for the seawall, Groton Utilities, the City Highway Department, City Hall staff, and other various costs will be associated with the seawall project. All this leads to the next most popular question people wanted to understand more about. What was the 9.8 million request to the state of Connecticut for the CIF funds to pay for the seawall cost overruns? First, there was a request to the state for 9.7 million to cover the seawall cost overruns, but that produced 0 results. The next was the CIF, and that's the Community Investment Fund, request for 9.8 million to cover cost overruns, but that also produced 0 results. The 9.8 million basically represents the amount of money the City of Groton presently needs to cover the cost overruns. So far, that money has been pulled out of the Groton City Capital Funds, Groton Utilities, the Sewer Department, Highway Department, and probably other sources. Next step, we all await the final bill. Probably more digging around, looking for more grants, and some serious negotiations with Groton Town Hall, while we claim this big mess should be classified as a highway project, which the town taxpayers must pay for. Good luck with that, because I don't think it's going to go that way, at least not 100%. Points of concern, where is the 2014 Shore Avenue Sea Assessment, road assessment document? What information was given to the town manager to cause him to claim that the forced sewer main was part of the seawall? Any statements by BL companies or GZA as to why the seawall project went forward given the lack of knowledge about the location of utility lines? And more importantly, any statements by BL companies or GZA as to why the seawall project went forward with only 3 test borings, and 1 boring failing to find any bedrock when the design required the 350-foot seawall to be anchored to bedrock? Most shockingly, and I really want to know, is what were BL companies and GZA thinking when the question came up before bidding was completed on the project as to the lack of bedrock and how is a construction company supposed to anchor the seawall? Who is responsible for the answer given? Bedrock shall be assumed at 13 feet below grade. Obviously, a lot of issues there with the bedrock and utilities. Any structural studies, were they ever done on the seawall? I have not seen anything other than some random notes about the veneer on the seawall. But otherwise, nobody did a study on the actual granite block wall that I can see. In my opinion, you would have to be, and I say this as nice as I can, the village idiot to go forward with a seawall project with so much information missing from the RFP. Remember, the seawall was built first and any utility lines were added later, so GU would be well aware of that. If the sewer lines were actually concerned, why didn't GU simply move them and leave the wall alone, instead of pursuing what ended up being a $15 million project?
You have 1 minute.
And my 1 minute is thanks. And again, thanks to Paul and Gwen for all the questions they've attempted to ask at numerous meetings, and those questions ended up with incomplete answers. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone else?
Susan and Philip Davis, were you wanting to speak together? Mhm.
I'd like to speak.
First of all, I'd like to say congratulations to Mayor Hendrick on his service to the city. I've been very proud of him, and he's got a lot done around here, and I just want to say congratulations. The reason I'm here tonight is just a short
Could you state your
summary of
name and
what's-
address for the record, please?
Oh, I'm sorry. My name is Philip. This is my first time. Philip Davis, 608 A Shenancocket Road.
Yes, sir, you have the floor.
Okay. I know I've talked to you before, and I've dealt with this problem, and many things have transpired. I've lived here over 30 years, and when I moved in, there was a lot of people just running the stop signs at Thomas Road and Shenancocket, and I mentioned it to my neighbor, and he told me that he had reported it, and he took some movies of it, people just cruising through the stop signs. And when he talked to the police told him it was none of his business, and that if he kept complaining, they were going to arrest him. I had a similar incident last summer. I actually called the police because there was some crazy drivers going by. They're probably going 55, 60 miles an hour, and they were just so noisy that it shook the pictures on the wall in my, they call it a townhouse, but they call it condominium also. And basically, this is what he told me, the exact words. He says, I ride my bicycle down there all the time, and you are full of you-know-what. And I just said, I cannot work with the city police. I always get the same attitude, and it's very discouraging, because right now, I guess there is no ordinance as far as noise goes. And since COVID, we have an influx of a lot of Pfizer and corporate bigwigs living down in Baker's Cove. And they got some pretty souped-up cars. There's a blue and a red Mustang. They go by, they're so noisy that it just rattles your brains. And I'll keep this short, but I see very little police presence down there. I know after Derek Chauvin that you really got to be very careful with what you do. But I think they've really gone into hiding. I'd like to see more police presence, because you may see a police car go by once or twice a day, but they seem to be heading down to the beach area, where I'm sure probably a really high crime rate. But I'm gonna leave it at that. And again, thank you.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to ask you to leave your phone number with the city clerk so that I can get the traffic officer, Officer Rosa, to reach out to you. We have a new traffic officer that is dedicated to this, and I will get him to reach out to you so we can get particulars so that we can address this issue.
May I have my
Yes, ma'am.
5 minutes too?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm Susan Davis, and I have lived in that condo on the corner of Shenandoah Road and Thomas Road for 35 years. I'm at the point now, I'm 72 soon, and I have actually dared myself at my late age to go on Facebook Groton community page, and I was purely insulted. This man helped me a little bit. But I was very, very insulted and told off in many ways, which was shocking to me, and they told me that that's what you call trolling, my 46-year-old daughter said. Now, I understand everything about what's going on in the world. However, I am not in the position after 35 years to just up and move. Anything I would do in a parallel platform to move in Groton would be ludicrous after having purchased my home and it's been paid for years. That seems to be the only solution given. I did live in the Kamaha Street area when my daughter was born. She's now 46. I was married to another man at the time who died, and there was a noise ordinance in Groton because he had glass packs on the side of his car and he was always pulled over and told to get rid of the noise. We have had increasing noise levels, and I believe that this has also become an environmental issue. I had a dog that died, and let me tell you something, my dog was shocked from the noise many times. I was also a member of a Groton Bible Chapel group, and my shepherd group did not want to come back to my condo because of the road noise. So I'm embarrassed to have company except for my sister and my niece, but we have had no new friends in our condo because of the noise. Again, people say, why don't you move? I shouldn't be pushed out of Groton after being a longstanding citizen and resident. I grew up on Morse Avenue starting in 1953, and I am upset with the fact that nothing is being done. I talked to another one on Facebook who said, you should come to my corner, and you should come to my corner. And I do understand Pfizer goes by, EB goes by. With me, Colonial Manor goes by, Groton Estates, to the new people. And Brentford Manor, where I had to live throughout when my daughter was tiny. But again, there were laws of unnecessary noise. I've had 2 accidents on the right side of my condo where the cars floated, this is the honest to God truth, right through the yard, through 2 trees that are now gone, and one plopped right on top of another car. They go flying through there, they take the left on Thomas Road, and they are burning rubber all the time. I do not care about motorcycles because, you know, it's summer. I think something should be done about it because I do believe it's affecting the birds and not, it's making me crazy, really. We sit there and pretend we have guns. We go like this, pa-chow, pa-chow. And it's really, and the F word comes out to me, a Christian who doesn't swear like that. And it's really hard to be pushed out of Groton.
Excuse me, Ms. Davis, if you could also leave your
Yes.
number with the city clerk, I will
Sorry I
get,
got so emotional.
nope, you're quite all right. I'll get Officer Rosa to reach out to you.
Wait, I gotta say one more thing. I had a neighbor who lived there, Merritt Ball. He's a famous artist. I still have some of his artwork. He did a lot of paper mache and artwork. He used to sit out there, the paper mache guy, which was right next door to me, and he just has a sign, "Live and let live." And you know the police made him take that in. He wasn't out there. It was a paper mache guy in an old lawn chair that just said, "Live and let live." I still have his "Live and let live" sign. Because I believe that everybody has a right to live.
Thank you. Okay,
Deb Patrick?
Yes. Hello, Deborah Patrick, 8 Mellow Avenue. I just wanted to speak about a couple of things tonight. I know that it's been a while since City Day, but I haven't been able to attend a meeting since then. I just wanted to say that it was a nice evening, and while things were different, some of it worked out well, and I felt some of it didn't work out so well. What troubles me about it is that there was about $35,000 spent for this one night event so they could have lights, and a group of people who made all the decisions, many of them don't even live in the city and are not taxpayers. So they should not be making decisions on how to spend our money that we as taxpayers are paying. And the other thing is that when I was clerk and I was in charge of City Day, I was very, very frugal with how I spent the taxpayers' money because that was the expectation. And when I decided that it was time to turn it over in anticipation of my retirement, I knew that I was leaving it in very capable hands with the Parks and Recreation Director, Mary Hill, and her admin, Val Koshmeter. And to have them left out of the loop to some degree and have other people's making the decisions just doesn't make any sense to me. And I would hope that in the future we would let the employees and or city taxpayers make the decisions on how our money is spent. And I did see a picture on Facebook today about the Zabersky House, and I want to agree that it looks absolutely beautiful, and I want to thank Mary Hill for everything that she does to keep our parks, our beach, so well maintained and give us so much to do. In the years that I worked there, I worked with the former director, Bill Sanford. He was a wonderful director, but when Mary came in, she brought in so many new ideas and brought programs that had never been attempted before. The bus trips were amazing. I hope that those will be brought back. I went on many of them. And you know, I think sometimes we forget to thank our city employees for how hard they work. And tonight was my opportunity to thank Mary Hill. Thank you.
thank you. Just wanted to address, there was a committee for City Day, and Mary Hill and Val Koshmeter were on that committee. So the entire committee did the planning and execution and voted on the execution of City Day. So I just wanted to clarify that. Okay, is there anyone else in the audience who would like to speak? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on. Response to citizens' petitions, comments, council? Deputy Mayor Depot?
I have, well, first I want to thank everyone for coming to speak. I say this spiel like every time, but we don't always know what's going on in every corner of the city, and when you come speak, it raises awareness to some things that sometimes we don't know about. I was going to ask, during Mr. Boucher's comments, he made a comment about that $10.7 million number, which is, I believe, the correct number for what we have authorized.
That's correct.
But my clarifying question is that what we've authorized or what has been paid to Arborio?
That's what's been authorized.
That's what I thought. So that amount hasn't necessarily been paid from the finance department
It has
yet.
not been finalized.
It's just
no.
been authorized.
Right.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that I had that right. And then, what was my other question? I was going to see, the best way to follow up on the police issues, but I want to thank you for bringing them up, because in my public comment, I was going to bring up the vehicle noise, because I've, in the last couple weeks, had many residents complain about that specific issue, and not just in your area. So, I was actually going to bring that up to the mayor as well.
I wanted to tell you, Deb Patrick, I worked with her when there was a ground round, so I've known her for 40-something years. Now, she also said to me on Facebook,
Oh,
Susan,
whoa.
go to the meeting.
All right, hold on, I need, stop this.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Right, there's no back and forth. This is Deputy Mayor Depot's opportunity
I
to,
didn't know, but I've never been to a.
it's okay. You're right. You did not know. It's okay. So Deputy Mayor Depot, you still have the floor.
Well, it's okay, so I'm not upset. I just don't want to forget my comments. So that was on my list today as well. So I'm glad, the more people, other areas have it, we can raise more awareness and know more about the issue. So, and then, what was my thing? Oh, regarding the comments from Ms. Patrick, can the finance department provide an accounting of City Day to the council?
Sure.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, thank you. We will move on to approval of the minutes. I'll take a motion to approve the mayor and council meeting minutes of September 15th, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Are there any corrections to the minutes? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Okay, motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Communication reports. Councilor Patterson. Okay, Councilor Piazza.
Thank you, Mayor. Went to the firefighters fundraiser, and it was a great thing to see, and how many people actually came to it. It was a wonderful event. And I also have been knocking on doors, walking for this upcoming election, and also speaking to a lot of people in reference, and if we can, even whether we're walkers or just people in the city, is to educate our people, because I had one person that said they didn't even know what kind of election it was. They didn't know if it was presidential or what we were voting on. So we really need to educate our citizens, and also to make sure they are registered. A lot of people have a lot to say, but they're not registered. So if we could make sure that we educate them and get that out there to them the best we can, besides just online, just anybody you're talking to, just ask. And I always am, I'm talking to people at work and talking to people out in the streets and ask them if they're registered, but also letting them know about early voting. They're not aware of that, and there's just a lot of things that they're not aware of, and that we could help them and assist them in that, and just, jot that down and make sure we get that to them. Thank you.
And our ballot box is out front. I don't know if you've noticed that. We have that out there. Councilor Sheffield.
Yesterday, attended the Safe Futures Walk at Home Memorial Park. In attendance was the chief, Captain Lado, Julia Parker was there, and other officers, chiefs of police throughout the county, and other political leaders were there. And I've gone the last 4 or 5 years over there, and it's a great event for fight against domestic violence. There was a couple of outstanding stories for victims of domestic violence, and told their stories to everybody. It was a very powerful movement, and we want to keep supporting that throughout the area. And it was a great event, so pleasure to be a part of it.
Safe Futures is a great organization. They're a regional organization, and they do work here in the city of Groton as well as the rest of the region. So you're right, it's a good organization.
That's all.
Councilor Norris.
Nothing, Your Honor.
Councilor Talley? Whoops, did she?
Yes, thank you.
There.
Actually, just today, I attended at the Bill Memorial Library the story time with my daughter, and I just wanted to thank the fire department because they came out and they brought their truck, and the kids really enjoyed being able to see the trucks, get up in them, and ask any questions that they wanted to the firemen. So it was really great. So I just wanted to thank them for that. That's all.
Okay, thank you. Deputy Mayor Depot.
Thank you, Mayor. I was going to pass on, I did get some comments on traffic. I've been directing them to the traffic officer, and that seems to be, people seem happy with the ability to just email the traffic officer, which is nice. But I did hear many people had complaints about loud cars. And it does seem like there are more of them than there used to be, people leaving EB and stuff. And I don't know if there's a solution or what there's a solution, but I did want to pass that on
Yep, I'll address
to
that in just a second.
you.
Thank you.
On the 18th of September, I attended the Police and Community Together meeting. We have changed that meeting to 5:30, correct, Mayor?
Yes,
Going forward, so I just want to remind residents, because it's been at 6 o'clock for the whole time that we've been having it, and it is now at 5:30, because we did have a resident that showed up at 6 in error, and I just want to make sure people know that.
well, the PAC did vote.
Yes, yeah.
To move it to 5:30, so it wasn't willy-nilly.
Oh, no, I wasn't
Okay.
trying to say that. No, and I agree, it works better for me, I'm on that committee, and for the people on that committee all wanted to change it because it works better for everyone. And our police staff stays late from already being at work all day, so it's nice to have it a little earlier. I just want to make sure that people remember that it's at 5:30. On the 24th, I attended a meeting run by GASP for Recovery Friendly Groton, and it was several nonprofits that focus on recovery, addiction recovery, resources, and all of those things. And I believe I passed along your information to the Recovery Friendly Workplace
And
group.
he came, we had a meeting, internal meeting, we met with him, and it's in HR's realm at this point.
But it's a good group. They kind of get together and brainstorm, and I just want to encourage people to look them up. GASP in particular does a lot of work for the youth. They have a lot of events for the youth to make drug-free spaces and provide resources, and I just want to encourage people to look them up. They're on Facebook. They are posting stuff all the time. On the 25th, I attended the Gold Star Memorial Ceremony at the Nautilus Museum. It was moved inside because of the weather. And I just want to thank, again, the coordinator over there, April Tischler. She used to be a city resident. Now she lives over in the town. But she's the coordinator and kind of coordinated that ceremony. And I just want to encourage people, anytime you have an opportunity to honor our military members, in this case in particular, ones that died while in service, I would just want to encourage them to do it because it's, not only a duty, I think, but it makes a profound impact on you to interact with that community. And I try to attend as many as I can. And this one in particular, I have a friend who's a member of a Gold Star family, and it makes a difference when we take our time to honor those families. They notice it and they appreciate it. So I just want to encourage people to do that whenever that is available. I volunteered at the mobile food pantry again. I delivered, I think, a record number of boxes this time. I did 37. The next mobile food pantry is on the 24th of October. If anyone needs food, please contact the mayor's office or myself via email or United Way, and we will get you food if you need food. Please do that. And if you aren't able to make the mobile food pantry, please contact Groton Human Services. They have other resources, not just food. They have tons of resources available for people. I also attended the firefighters union fundraiser. And it was a great event, and there were a lot of people there. And again, it's just great to be able to, in a social atmosphere, chat with the firefighters, as Councilor Artali was saying about the story time. I just want to encourage people to do that because it makes a difference when you feel comfortable talking to them and get your kids used to talking to them and all of that. So I just want to encourage people to go to those events. And then lastly, on the 30th, I went to the Military Appreciation Breakfast, and I got to sit at a table with I think a person from each branch of the military, which was very cool, except the Space Force. We didn't have any of those in the room, but it was, again, another chance to honor the people in the military. And EB had a representative there, and they were awarded, they were given an award for being friendly to the military community, providing training and transition opportunities for them when they come out of the military. And, you know, we all know that EB contributes to the tax base, but I think sometimes we forget the other contributions, and that's one of them. They provide easy transition from the military to civilian life, which any of us who know people who've done that in the military, that sometimes it's not that easy. So I just want to thank EB for their contributions to that, to the military community, because it does make a difference to them. And that is all.
Okay, thank you. City Clerk?
I just wanted to inform everyone of a public hearing regarding the proposed bonding. It has been scheduled for October 20th at 7 p.m., just before the mayor and council meeting. There will be time allotted to solicit public comment during that meeting. Also, absentee ballots have become available, and if you would like to come to my office, for anyone that won't be able to vote or potentially won't be able to vote on November 4th, please come by and get an application. If you want to vote, you will need an application from my office as well as the town clerk's office to get both absentee ballots. That's it.
Okay. So regarding the noise ordinance, I'll get the chief to come in brief. Noise ordinance are a challenge. The town does not have one. We do not have one because typically the issues, once a noise violation or what somebody thinks is a noise violation is called in, by the time we get down there, it's gone. So that's one of the challenges. Also, in order to have a decibel meter, it's got to be calibrated. Somebody's got to be trained to use it. There are some complications. Not saying we couldn't do it. It's just there are things that sometimes complicate this. I have received comments from people with, based on the mufflers and sometimes the motorcycles and things like that, and I have talked to the chief, so I'll get him to come and speak at the committee of the whole. Okay, we'll move on to committee referrals. Are there any committee referrals? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on to new business. Councilor Patterson.
Resolution 25-10-90.
You want 89, you want the first one.
First one. Oh, 89. Resolution 25-10-89. Resolution that the mayor and the council accept a donation of $25,000 and no cents from Mohegan Sun Club LLC, 1 Mohegan Sun Boulevard, Uncasville, Connecticut, to be used for future maintenance of the basketball courts at Washington Park. I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. This is discussed at the committee of the whole. Is there any additional discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Councilor Talley, how do you vote?
Sorry, I was on mute. Aye.
Okay, thank you. Motion carries unanimously. Councilor Piazza?
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution R-25-10-90, therefore be it resolved that the mayor and council accept a donation of labor from the Southeast Chapter of the Connecticut Plumbing, Heating, Cooling Contractors Association to repair and replace fixtures in the restrooms at Washington Park. I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. This is discussed at the committee of the whole. Is there any additional discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Deputy Mayor Depot.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution R-25-10-91. Therefore be it resolved, that the mayor and council approve the harbor management plan mooring permit fee schedule. I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. This is discussed at the committee of the whole. Is there any additional discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Okay, I'll take a motion to move into enter into executive session pursuant to Connecticut General Statute 1-206A, Personnel, Parks and Recreation, and there will be action possible action coming out of this executive session.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Oh, wait, to include mayor and council and Paul Testa and Deidre LeCon.
So moved.
Okay,
Second.
all right. All in,
Discussion.
not normally, but yes,
Was the employee
yes.
given the opportunity to attend this executive session
They
or
would not-
meeting?
They were given the opportunity to have it in public. That's what the FOIA requirement is.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
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 Counselor Norris,
I'm sorry. FOIA says she could have it in public.
Yes, with that, it can be an open session, right? Meaning it could be discussed here. They do not, the individual does not get to participate, whether it's in public forum or an executive session.
But that person had the opportunity to be in the executive session.
No,
The reason why I asked that is because I kind of brought this up before regarding the Public Works Director, and I got a very different answer.
no, what the answer I gave you was, we should not have went into executive session because we did not notify that individual that we were gonna go into executive session to give them the option to have it public. That's what the FOIA requirement is.
Okay.
I have another question.
Deputy Mayor Depot.
So we're not required to allow the employee in executive session, but is it permissible to allow the employee into the executive session if the council wanted it?
Not based on the information I have from my attorneys.
So,
If they would not be able to participate. And I have an opinion on that.
but
I have an
legally,
attorney's opinion on that.
so legally, the council couldn't even authorize the employee to be present in the executive session?
Paul, would you like to come up and grab a microphone?
So the mayor is correct, the employee doesn't have a right to participate. The employee could have came today and spoke during public comment if he or she wanted. Could you invite her into executive session? I mean, technically, the board could vote to have this person come in executive session. The board could do that.
But they would not be allowed to participate.
And it's not required, and per FOIA, the individual, any employee could request that it be done in public, in front of everyone. That's their right, and if not, then it's an executive session.
So the employee was given the option to come speak at public comment?
Correct.
He or she could have spoke at public comment, just like any other citizen.
Yes.
Or could not act.
And they were informed of that in writing?
Yes.
Deidre, yeah,
Okay.
from what I've been told, this individual was informed in writing.
Counselor Norris?
Does that conflict our charter?
No.
I know you're talking about FOIA.
No, no, it's not in conflict with the charter.
Okay.
Okay, anything else? All right, I'll take them. Counselor Piazza?
This is just off the cuff, so where is union involved in all this?
There's no union involved
This
in
is
it.
not a union employee. I do not believe. That's fine.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
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 Okay, we are in executive session. So let's close the doors. City clerk, go ahead and secure everything and then be available because we'll bring you back in.
Recording stopped.
council meeting. Have a resolution, Councilor Sheffield.
Resolution R-25-10-92. Therefore, be it resolved that the mayor and council approve the termination of Mary Hill, Director of Parks and Recreation, effective October 7th, 2025, based on the facts found in an investigative report conducted by Human Resources and the mayor's recommendation of removal following a pre-disciplinary hearing conducted on September 25th, 2025. I so move.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. City Clerk would like to do a roll call vote?
Councilor Patterson?
No.
Councilor Piazza?
No.
Deputy Mayor Debo?
No.
Councilor Sheffield?
No.
Councilor Norris?
I think this was a failure in upper management, so no.
Please vote. Thank you.
Councilor Artali?
Aye.
What'd she say?
Aye.
Motion fails. Okay, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Okay, we are adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.